Hello, folks. How you doing? Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to talk about a return to the mother. Sometimes this is explained as a return to the womb, but not, you know, it's a mystical term. Okay, but anyway, when the child is in utero, the physical child, the child is positive. The womb is positive, you see. It so happens that when the child is born into the world and given all the things that he is taught, here he becomes negative. And so the quest becomes to become positive again. And so they refer to this becoming positive again as returning to the womb, or return to the womb to become positive, you see. Now, of course, people believe that they are taught positivity. And believe that they are positive people. They'll tell you that. You see. But when a person comes into the world, you see, he goes through a psychosocial emotional development. You see. And most of this development is based on untruths, falsehoods. All religious scriptures teach these things. It tells you what the falsehoods are. But people are actually taught the opposite. For example, people are taught that they should have self-esteem, pride, feelings of self-importance, etc. They're taught the concept of better than, who they are better than, etc. They're taught to be competent and so forth and so on, aggressive. All these things and related things, according to religious scripture, are bad. They're negative, you see. So the child, when he is born into this real world, he is taught negativity. Because the womb is positive, has a positive environment, it is said that one must return to the womb, or one must return to the mother. Not physically. We know that's impossible. But to return to the positive state, that's his inheritance. So, return to the womb, or return to the mother to make certain of your inheritance. That is, return to the positive state that existed within the child when he was in utero. Well, virtually everything a person encounters in this life is negative. And these things that he encounters leave impressions on the human physiology, the human body. So the whole body becomes negative, most of it. there's a small portion of the body that retains its positivity. So when they say return to the mother, it's the return to that positivity that still exists within the person. So they say, it's a saying like, everybody has some good in them. Even the worst people have some good in them. That good that they're referring to is a state of positivity that still exists in the person, whether child or adult. Okay? And so it's this state of positivity that the person must return to. It exists within him. So some people refer to it as his true self. The real thing, the real person. So, in the olden times, this positivity, okay, was in the person's name. You see, the name contains power. And if you pronounce the name correctly, you release that power. You see. Well, the name then is a positive state, or it identifies the positivity in a person. It tells us how a person should develop or be developed in this life, which would be along positive lines, the positivity contained in the name. You see, we're not given those names. You see. So we're not taught these things. We're not taught the negativity that we experience in life until later when we decide to, let's say, make a correction and return to the mother. Then we learn what the negativity is and how to erase it. So the child in utero has a level of knowledge. See, all creatures do. Insects have their level of knowledge and a level of consciousness. And there are many, many different levels of consciousness in our world. The various creatures, they have their levels of consciousness. The human being has its level of consciousness, and it can alter its consciousness to various levels. And various levels of becoming, various levels of knowledge. There's more than one knowledge, right? There are many, many different forms of consciousness and forms of knowledge. Not just what we experience here in this life, you see. Oh, we can experience more levels of knowledge in this, but we don't because you're not taught to. Okay. So when folks do their spiritual practices, they are attempting to regain their positivity or to bring the positivity out. And this is a return to the mother, and this is what is meant by that. To become positive again, and to be reborn, you see. Because this negativity is really of this earth, of this life, the things that we have been taught, etc. So they say we must die to the things of this earth, to the things of this life in order to be reborn again, in order to live again. That's saying that a person must abandon and leave his personality behind. So when the God tells the devil to get behind me, this is what he's saying. He's saying to the negativity within him, and get behind me. Okay. Okay, folks. Subscribe. I have lots more to talk about. And I'll be getting back with you all soon. Okay. Bye-bye.